Hello everyone and welcome to some more F1 22 My Team. Today we're here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix Jeddah round number 2, and now has swapped to the very start of the season compared to being at the very end. And of course we have the updated Jeddah with the circuit revised with the new curbs and everything, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into it though, I want to quickly say, those of you that haven't had the chance to play the game yet, if these issues are still happening on PC later on when this video goes live, I hope you guys get something in return, you know, for the trouble that's going on right now. It's not fair, and hopefully, you know, you guys get fairly reimbursed or get something in return that's worth it. In the meantime, if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, round number 1, go check it out, guys. A very rough start to the season, a reality check, a very tough race, and you're going to see me suffer. So if you enjoy that type of stuff, then go check it out. Link up in the top right. I also uploaded camera settings and wheel settings this morning, so that video will also be linked on screen, so go check both of those videos out. If you're going to enjoy this one, leave a like and subscribe, and as always, timestamps down below. So let's get into it. As you can see in the background, we have a Pirelli Hotlap, and we're going to go ahead and take part in that. So a drift challenge in the Aston Martin, and we're going to jump into it and see how we get on. One take and see if it works. Pretty much goal score is 11,500 points. I'm not going to lie, I'm still not fully used to the supercars. I'm still trying to find the right balance and how to really use the handbrake. As you can see through here, 1 and 2, trying to get a nice little drift going as we start to rack up some points. If you hit the wall or if you go off track, then that is going to mean that you lose the bonus and your score will not go up. So as you'll see right here, we run a bit of wide at turn 4, and then we hit the wall as well at 5, so we lost 2 amounts of points there, which wasn't ideal. Now through here you can see we actually go for a spin, and well, we managed to just about catch it, but again we throw away even more points as we have 3 consecutive red scores and, you know, having our points taken away. So we've probably dropped about 1,000, maybe even a bit more, maybe 1,500 points in that last sequence alone. But now we're starting to recover a little bit as we make our way out of sector 1. Definitely worth trying to drift on the straight. You can rack up a few cheap points and get a few extras. Down into the far end of the circuit now, into the stadium hairpin, trying to get a nice drift going. We actually lose the momentum, which is a bit of a shame as that was going pretty well. I tried to recover it on the exit and we do get a few extra points, but I think I'm going a bit too fast. Maybe watching this back, I should probably try to reduce my speed, which will work on in future events. But you can see here, going through the right left chicane, we actually get a pretty decent drift going and a decent little bonus multiplier as we get about 800 points. Having said that, sector 2 is about to finish and we're nowhere near the bronze score, so we need to try and rack up these points. You can see me here desperately trying to drift the car on the straight to try and find some extra points from wherever I can, as there's not really many more corners to go. It's mostly straight, so we've got to really maximize everything we can out of this as we go under the hotel. Had to wait there as we almost brushed the wall, as we had to delay the start of our drift, and I'm still struggling to do any kind of prolonged long drift. We get another 500 points there as we push our score now just underneath the bronze medal, so we're nearly there. The silver though looks a little bit out of reach. We tried to get an aggressive drift going with 30 seconds to go on the clock. And the one thing I realized actually at the end of this is that you don't have to complete the lap. You could have done half a lap for all I care. It's actually just a time limited event, so it's not about trying to get round, you know, and finish a lap or whatever. So yeah, with that said, you can see we've got the last 10 seconds on the clock, currently at 7,000 points now. Looks like we're going to fall just short of the 8,000 for the silver. So yeah, job done. 7,200 points. We get bronze, which means 250 acclaim and 25,000 in cash. So we'll take that and add that to the bank. But we're now ready for the main event. F1 cars, that's what we're here for. Hopefully you guys are excited. We have upgrades this weekend. Front wing upgrade. The overwheel winglets have been improved. We've got engine and chassis upgrades on the way, and if they all arrive, then that will help us take a step in the right direction. You can see we've actually re-overtaken McLaren this weekend and got back ahead of them heading into this race. And with that said, we're going to jump into practice. Now, one thing I want to quickly address is the helmet. I saw a few comments regarding the colours and how it looks like a Russian flag. So I already pre-recorded this episode, but for round 3, I will have a change in place. So shout out to all of you in the comments who pointed that out to me, because I didn't even realise at the time, to be fair. It completely went over my head. So thank you to all of you that mentioned that in the comments. In the background, you saw me successfully completely track acclimatization with a purple score. Pretty easy, to be fair. This track should suit me and the car a lot better. We're now doing the race strategy program, and we passed it with flying colours as we got a nice purple score. I've also turned Mark off. Well, not off, but I've turned the amount of times he talks to the lowest possible, so he won't be disturbing us anymore. You can see on the telemetry graph, we did a pretty good job actually on the race strategy in terms of tyre performance and general pace, doing a good job of being under the target. And then we tried the qualifying performance test, the last one. You can see here we're just about on the green, but I have a really poor exit with some wheel spin, and we're going to miss out by about 1/10 of a second. So unfortunately, we didn't quite get it, but having said that, it's not the end of the world. We got 2 out of the 3 programs, and I'm not too disappointed with that one. I went ahead, made a couple of adjustments to the setup for qualifying. You can see the total points we scored in practice. Pretty decent, to be fair. 360 out of 540. That's I'd say about 65% success. Not too shabby. Along with Paul Chair's points, that brings up our total to nearly 1,500 points. And we went ahead and then we got some discounts to other upgrades, which we are going to hopefully do at the end of the episode, because after qualifying, after the race, we should get some extra R&D points, which are going to add to that 1,500. So we should have quite a few to spend and hopefully be able to make quite a few improvements at the end of the video. Now then, with that said, practice done, we can now move into qualifying, and we're going to see if the pace is a bit better as we level up to level 3 on driver acclaim. The beautiful backdrop here at Jeddah, political circumstance aside, it looks beautiful, and I can't wait. Night skies are falling, we're ready to go, and we also have a slightly revised livery in terms of the colours this race. The red's a bit more darker, and the blue as well. And I think I've also tweaked my camera settings a little bit as well, which are the ones that you've seen in the camera settings video this morning. With that said, Q1, not the best start, as we were on actually a pretty solid lap, but I hit the wall on the inside. Luckily, no damage, as Mark talks about tyre conditions, so that usually means there's no damage on the car. We set a 29.8, which isn't a bad banker, to be fair. I then went for a cooled off lap, had enough fuel for 2 time laps, so essentially trying to go through one set of tyres if I can make it happen. But yeah, we went for a cool off lap, and now a second push. Here we go. Down to turn 1, brake at the 100. There's no more curb on the outside now as a reference, so you have to use the marking boards. Tip the car in. You can use more curb than I did through there, through especially turn 1. Don't be scared of the sausage. Into sector 2, or into the S is more like. 6th gear, trying to carry that speed, getting as close as possible to the barriers at all times. Very important to be careful with certain curbs now, as they do, not ride as well as last year with the underfloor of these cars on 22, so you've got to be careful. Sector 1 though, we're a 1/10.5 up as we head into the hairpin 5th gear, trying to get the car down nice and tight to the apex and then let it run wide on the exit. Up through the gears as we prepare this very tricky right-left chicane. With the understeer of these cars, it's hard to really get the turn in, but that wasn't too bad. And on the exit, we get pretty close to the wall. Shades of Verstappen in 2021 as we make our way towards the end of sector 2, opening DRS on this new DRS zone, of course. And now into the hotel section, down 2 gears, tip the nose in, careful with that curb, as that is much higher this year and it has been reprofiled, so you can bottom out and have issues like they did in real life in 2022. The final corner, spot 100, brake pretty much a whisker after that, down to 4th gear this time, avoiding the inside wall, and we're up by half a second as we just about have enough fuel and battery to complete this lap. Run up to the line, P15, and to be fair, that is not a bad lap, a 29.3. Definitely a bit more time in it when you factor in I ran out of ERS on the pit straight, on the run to the line. There was probably about half a tenth extra. But looking at the gaps, you can see Carlos is yet to set a lap, Lando yet to set a competitive lap, Tsunoda as well. We're not actually really P15. Having said that, the gaps are really close and the margins are all really, really fine. So if we can find like another tenth or two, we could actually get through here. So fresh set of tyres, we're going to go back out, one attempt, minimal fuel. Let's see if we can get the job done. Down to turn 1, spot 100 on the brakes though, we just run it in a bit too hot. And then at turn 2, the curb, you can see the way it affects the car as we bottom out. Unfortunately, we lose it, and yeah, the end of our lap, the end of our attempt, and the end of our qualifying. And to my surprise, which is kind of my reaction really in the picture, everyone found a load of time, a bucket load of time on that last lap, and we actually finished last, which was a bit of a surprise. I really thought we were going to be, you know, not last, but I thought P19, P18, but Paul Chair out-qualifies us again, 2 out of 2, 4 tenths quicker than us, but I will admit the grid is a lot closer and the pace is better this weekend. I feel like we've got a good race car. Definitely could have got P21. Albon was a bit far away, I will admit, but still, I'll take that. We're much more competitive and I feel more confident.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the Lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, and Pierre Gasly, Magnussen, Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, and Joe, Norris, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Théo Pourchaire, Stroll, Albon, Latifi and Martinez. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now then, it's time for the race. Second time in a row we're starting from last. We have a lot of work to do, but unlike Bahrain, I'm a little bit more confident we may have the minerals to fight and compete here today. This should be a bit of a better circuit for us, slightly more suited to my driving style and the car. I'm confident, and the main objective of this race is to try and beat Théo Pourchaire. That's the first objective. Anything after that is really a bonus. I will admit, if there's some noise in the background of this video, I do apologise, as it's a bit busy for some reason outside, but I need to have the windows open. Strategy for this race, the game recommends a medium to hard tyre strategy. In last year's game, the alternate strategy with the medium to soft was the way to go, so we'll keep our options open, and doing that means starting on the medium. We're going to drop the fuel to 0.8. I'm going to go a bit higher this race, as it's mostly flat out for the whole lap. I'm happy with the setup, so I'm not going to change anything, so let's get into the formation lap, and let's hopefully have a decent start and show a bit more aggression than we did in Bahrain. Race number 2 then, let's see. Okay, race number 2, let's hopefully have a decent grid lineup and then follow that with a decent start. I'm going to try and get a bit of a rear burnout on the way here, just to get a last bit of rear tyre temp, just to really maximise that traction as we get a bit of heat in the front. Right, let's line them up. Let's make it a nice one. Walls are close here, so I want to be aggressive at the start, but also want to be careful. Ah, damn it. I went a bit too far. Oh well, never mind. We're starting last anyway. Let's get into it. Let's do this. I'm looking forward to this one. Excellent start. Let's go. Up the inside of the Williams boys. Into the first chicane for the first time. going to try and go around the outside of Lance Stroll here, which we managed to successfully achieve. Into the middle sector now though. This is when things get complicated. Stroll fighting back. Going to leave some space, but we're going to keep at it as we head through the entire S section side by side. Around the outside we go on Stroll. We're going to just get in front for P19. Going to get down to the apex really early to avoid Lance having a look up the inside. Let's try and go after Paul Chair. Lance, Albon, Latifi all going to battle behind, so let's see, man. Hopefully this race is a bit of a better one for us. I've got no mini-map, so I can't fully tell how the race is going. Albon rapidly closing in here, so we're going to have to use a bit of battery just to stay afloat as we approach the hotel section for the first time. Bit of side-by-side up ahead. Paul Chair and Sebastian Vettel going at it. The young rookie versus the experienced veteran. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try and manage my battery usage. Seb and Paul Chair keep going at it here. Oh my god, Lance Stroll with an absolute dive bomb there. The AI are definitely a bit dirtier in this game, a bit more aggressive, and Stroll actually pits for presumably damage. First lap though in the books, and we've gained 3 places. Absolutely happy with that. Would have taken that at the start, and I'm glad we've achieved that. And let's see if we can try and settle into a race pace, and let's see if our car is a bit more competitive here today. Now let's see how the race pans out with some DRS. I feel like we've got decent straight line speed. I'm going to try to start having a look at Paul Chair. I'm a little bit slow through the corners, but our setup seems to be quite good on the straight. That's kind of the trade-off we've gone for at this race. So we'll try and make it count for some overtakes. Having a bit of a moment there, got on the power a bit too early. Going to have to use some ERS to defend. Here comes Albon. Going to hold the inside and show him the long way around. Into the final corner we go. We'll just hold it on the inside beautifully there and stay ahead of the Williams for now. I was starting to get a bit confident there, but one little mistake just like that and we're back to having that lack of confidence with the car. Seems like I've got decent braking as well, which is going to be a plus. Let's see, man. I can't see the minimap, so I don't know if there's a big breakaway ahead, but if we can pass all these cars, whether that's on track or via strategy, that would be excellent for us. So let's try and work our way through. Feels like we've got a bit too wide ahead. Yes, we have, and we've got a bit of contact happening. I just saw a bit of contact up ahead. Got to be careful in this situation to not get caught out as we get a warning for track limits. I do not want to be overtaken, but I'm expecting someone to have wing damage up ahead, and that's going to cause a bit of trouble as we drift through the hairpin. Let's see, Lando, Ricciardo side by side. Far from ideal in terms of lap time gain, but here we go. This could be our opportunity. We're going to draw level with our teammate. Elbows out around Jeddah. Going to try and go the long way around on Paul Chair. Isn't going to work though. They've reprofiled the curbs underneath the hotel this year. So I could have done that move last year, but not this year. Here we go again. Oh dear. Whoa. Ooh, my god, that is so close. Too close for comfort. Let's try and get past Sebastian Vettel here. And Lando's got no DRS. Do I dare go for the double? Uh-oh. Careful, 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 careful. The AI are so aggressive in this year's game. Anyway, P16. We're making progress. Seb Vettel up next. Let's try and get him.
The safety car's out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be careful.
Okay, safety car deployed. So looks like we could actually pit this lap and go to the end on the hard tyre. That would be possible, looking at tyre wear.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Let's call it in, let's go for it. I'm expecting everyone else to pit, but we might gain from a couple of second drivers not being able to pit. Okay, so a little bit more front wing for the pit stop. Delta just disappears, so we can now go full speed. Let's box. First pit stop under safety car with the new game, new safety car, of course, this year with the Mercedes. Let's have a look if we can have a decent stop here. I feel bad for Paul Chair, but lead car gets lead preference, simple as. Right, we need a good stop this time. 2.4, not too bad, we'll take that.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Got to be careful, we're on cold tyres. AI going for softs. Okay, interesting. So we may have an offset and we may have a race on our hands here. We're going to the end. AI looking to go for an extra stop maybe. So very interesting. Let's see how this all works out. For now, let's try and get some tyre temp. These tyres are freezing cold. Now a little bit of an update with the safety car now as we're in the train. It looks like half the cars have pit, half the cars have not. So we're going to have those who haven't stopped who I believe may commit to the original strategy. And then of course those who have pit seem to have gone for a soft, which means they're two stopping. So essentially every single car ahead of us has to pit again, and so do the two cars behind us, but we don't. So this could be a very, very interesting race. We'll see how it all works out. Here we go then, safety car in this lap, restart about to get underway. Trying to get last bit of tyre temp in these hard tyres. Under limiter again, I hate this thing, I wish they'd get rid of it so we can spin the tyres, but anyway, here we go, back underway. We're probably going to get munched up easily by Ricciardo and Stroll, but we'll try and hang on for as long as we can. That's the idea with these tyres and this strategy. We've got to try and stay competitive. Uh-oh, something's happened. I don't know what it is, but we've managed to get Seb. Something ahead, someone slow. AI are having an absolute field day here. Oh my god, Seb's going to squeeze back through. Oh my god, Vettel, Jesus. It's all going crazy. I've got to be careful here. We're going to the end, so I cannot afford to lose the front wing. That would just ruin the entire strategy, so I'll take the high ground if I have to in certain battles. Paul Chair's involved, I think. Whoever it is that's going slow, it's causing chaos. Here comes Stroll, using up his battery. Going to just get back in front. Battery's going to be key, the management. Just trying to hang on to this. They are still battling away, so they're getting pretty dirty, so they're losing time. Look at that, Vettel, Bottas side by side under the hotel, and Stroll and Ricciardo as well. This is perfect for us. This is, you know, spot on for our strategy. It means they're going to use up their soft tyres, which don't really last that long around here, and that's going to bring us into the fold. Uh-oh, final corner. Issues for Norris. There's been contact, debris on the track as we go over a piece of front wing. There's going to be quite a few cars in this lap, I think, surely. No, just the one. But I know for a fact there's more damaged cars ahead. It's all kicking off in this race. The AI... Don't worry, I saw it. I saw the incident mark. Look at this. This is actually costing us time now because these guys are battling way too hard with one another. This is far from ideal. Let's not leave ourselves exposed here to an overtake attempt from Stroll. Lando has damage. He's slow. He's got understeer, so we've got to try and clear him as soon as possible. Another slow car ahead. Come on, guys. Let's try and clear these boys. Again, it's all part of the new game, you know. The AI and also ourselves, you know, you can stay out with wing damage and it doesn't hurt your pace as bad as other years, but clearly Lando's got enough to the point where he's bleeding enough time. We should be able to pass him now though, hopefully. We'll probably get the run through the hotel section. And to be fair, Lando's holding on pretty well. Looks like he might actually be okay. I don't mind following. Lando seems to be okay as Albon and Bottas go at it up ahead. Norris isn't that slow, but I wonder if he may pit anyway just to be safe. No, he stays out. Okay, fair enough. We're going to try and go for the move. I feel like I'm struggling. Don't know how late to brake, but we'll try to commit. I want to try and make some moves if I can, because we're losing quite a bit of time. Side by side with Albon here. As we head into the S's, we're going to get ahead. Let's try and stick with Sebastian Vettel here. He's a decent little guide. We've got more slow cars up ahead. Whoa! That curb completely ruined the balance. The AI though, around here, are having a field day. I don't know what the hell is happening, but they're all broken. Super aggressive as Seb goes to the move on Bottas now. There's definitely big points in this race for us, I think. Here goes Sebastian Vettel on Valtteri Bottas. Paul Chair is battling with Perez ahead, I believe. Can't believe I'm saying that in race number 2, but here we are. Bottas, Vettel side by side. Bottas struggling for traction. Let's go for it, man. Paul Chair pits. Hopefully that's a scheduled stop and not a damaged one.
Teo's coming in for his stop now.
I tried having a look at Seb there. I used a bit of battery. Thought I could have been cheeky with it, but Vettel holds on. P14 for us now, though. Let's keep chipping away. Well, this is just perfect for us. Sebastian Vettel doing an excellent job of dragging us along. He pits with Tsunoda and Perez. Alonso, Gasly, Hamilton, Leclerc. And just like that, we are into the points, although Leclerc will feed out right behind us. Latifi's next. Zhou Guanyu after that. Let's keep doing our thing, man. I'm pretty sure Leclerc is the net race leader, so technically speaking, I think we're net P1 right now, but Leclerc won't take long to get by. Okay, Leclerc closing in. However, we have got DRS on Latifi, so I might get the chance to pass Latifi first. Although Leclerc, I'm expecting to be so quick, he's just going to breeze past. Look at that, he's right on our gearbox. I'm not even going to use any battery to fight this one. This is not our race. We'll just follow Charles, hopefully try and hang in his DRS for a couple of laps maybe. You never know, we're on the same tyre. Although to be fair, he's going to breeze past Latifi. Although Latifi does pit, so let's see. Clean track, more cars in I'm expecting. Russell, Ocon in there as well. Zhou, Schumacher. And there we go. Sainz just out, so he's still P1, so we're net P3 right now, which is crazy. So we're on for a podium. Obviously we're not going to stay there, but still, target is points. Now at this stage of the race, surely we've got to try and aim for some points. Personal best, 32.9 on that lap. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Hamilton now with DRS behind us as he closes in. Unlike Bahrain now, the W13 has its actual car model as a patch came out this morning. I'm not going to fight Lewis, it's not my battle to fight, even though we are on a fantastic podium P3. We need to play the long game here as Mercedes goes by. I must admit, it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the nose side pods. Russell now not too far behind. Schumacher's the first car we can start to look at and say, right, let's try and stay ahead. He's battling with Alonso right now, so that's an objective for us now to look out for. Let's see if we can try and hang with Lewis and get DRS maybe. 33.0, and looking at the gap to Lewis, didn't lose that much. I think we may lose out to George, but I think we've pulled away from Schumacher on that lap. Looking at the amount of laps left, I think we can finish P5 this race, I really do. If these tyres hold on, you can see the tyre wear in the bottom right. If we can stay consistent and keep churning out the laps, we've got a very strong chance at a top 5 finish now. But we've got to keep this pace up and be right on the limit. Okay, George behind us. Personal best first sector from me there. I'm trying to extend my gears to burn off a bit of fuel. Letting the revs run out. George will get by here quite easily in this DRS zone, but then hopefully we can get DRS in the next one and then on the main straight as well and just try and keep up with that way. So there we go. George goes by. Now we can get a nice slipstream. And get the DRS on the next straight. I think we can do this. I'm confident. 7 laps to go next time we cross the line, and the gap is 7 seconds to Esteban Ocon now. He's the next car on the hunt. But now we've got some DRS to help us pull away here. Perfect. Nicely done through that. I've done 2 33.0s in a row. So the pace is super consistent, and we're going to set another one, I think. There we go, keeping it up. Car's working well. Hard tyre was a great choice. Holding on really well as well. We can do this. As long as the tyre doesn't fall off or hit the cliff. I'm using up our battery here. We're going to set a new personal best, but I'm doing it to keep up with George, which I feel like I can do at the minute, and stay within DRS. Personal best by nearly 7/10 on that lap. That's what DRS does, if you can hold on to it in all 3 zones. But this could help us secure P5, if I can just stay with George. Second warning for track limits.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Got away with the wall graze as well there. I think I'm going to drop out of range this lap now. Try to hang on, but just lacking a little bit of pace. George pulled away from Ocon, to be fair. Let's have a couple of laps of recharge on the battery if we can, and then get ready in case Ocon does arrive at the end. Another warning for track limits, or no, Ricardo's out of the session, never mind. Read that wrong. Anyway, I'm currently on a personal best attempt. I'm loving life at the minute. Car feels fantastic around here, it just suits the track. Like I mentioned at the start of the race, and look at this. We're up by 3.5 tenths without any DRS. Can we sneak a 31? Not quite, 32.0. Last lap of the race, let's bring it home for a massive 10 points. Here we go then, making our way into the final sector. All the street lights are lit up. Carlos Sainz, fastest lap, 29.7, so 2.3 seconds faster than what our personal best is. So it goes to show still a long way to go, but we kept it clean this race. So many times we missed out on big incidents, very, very near misses, and we've survived. We pit under the safety car and went for the hard top, which nobody else did, and that turned out to be the master strategy. And there we go, P5, first points of the season.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
They've delivered an outstanding performance today and under intense pressure to take a well-earned victory at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
I am a very, very happy man after that race. What a performance, what a result. The pace wasn't even that bad. If you take the top 4 out of the question, if you look at the personal best lap times of the cars below me, we weren't a million miles away. So the pace was pretty decent. Obviously it wasn't legit P5, but the AI pretty much killed themselves this race in many, many areas, and also didn't take advantage of the obvious strategy opportunity with the safety car. So all things considered, I do think we're still lacking some pace. I'm not getting carried away. I'm fully expecting to be out of the points again next race, but we're taking this 10 solid points, massive points already in our second race. And here is your final running order. So Carlos Sainz, 2 out of 2 with the fastest lap. Leclerc this time P2, recovery drive from him after a poor race last time out. Lewis as well, recovery after a poor race in Bahrain. Russell P4. Ourselves, Mick Schumacher P6, points again. Ocon, Alonso, Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly running at the points. Missing out on the top 10, Magnussen, Bottas, Stroll on a 3-stop. Tsunoda, Albon, Latifi, Paul Chair, P17. Must have had some issues because he was ahead of the Williams earlier on in the race, so he must have just gone backwards. Vettel, Perez, Verstappen, both Red Bulls on a 4-stop. Absolute chaos. I'll have to recall so many replays, but you can imagine what happened. They both got so much damage, obviously battling. Lando P21 and Ricciardo last with a DNF, so an absolute shocker today for Red Bull and McLaren. So standings after 2 rounds, we are into the top 10. We're P9 right now, which is fantastic news for us. Sainz leads the way with a perfect 52 points out of 52 so far. Constructors up to 6th ahead of Alfa Romeo, so we'll take that. Happy days. Ferrari leading the way. Aston Martin and Williams yet to score a point. So let's see how long these 10 points are going to last us in terms of keeping us up the sharp end in the standings. For now though, we're going to move back into the laptop and move into upgrades. Okay, let's get to it and let's get these activities and upgrades done. So first of all, message center. Nothing too urgent from Ethan, just letting us know where we are, third from bottom, which will hopefully improve soon. Let's go for activities then, shall we? So, trying to see if I can bring some value to the team and some improvements. So we'll go for power equipment upgrade, as that is going to improve the morale and also bring us some extra resource points. We'll go for some second driver external training at the end. Driver promotion, sponsor advertisement. We'll go for that, that's going to be good. And then we'll go for these as a final. There we go. Right, now let's go for upgrades, shall we? Let's have a look, see what we can do. So we've got currently upgrades on the way on the chassis and engine, therefore we can purchase on the aero. Confirmation of the over-wheelie winglets arriving, and we're going to add to that by purchasing the discounted beam wing. We'll go ahead and get that on the car. 40% failure chance, and that should bring us above Alfa Romeo. I can't do any more right now as department capacity is maxed out on chassis and engine, so I'm going to just have a little look at the durability, if we can do anything, which I can't see much of besides the gearbox, which does have a hefty discount, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. Why not? We may as well. Other than that, that's going to be, I'm going to save the rest of these points in case we have any failures. The next race is Australia. We've got upgrades arriving on the 3rd, so let's see if everything arrives in time. Now we have another Pirelli Hotlap, this time at the new Australia circuit. I won't do these every single race. I believe there's one for every single round in my team, so I'm not going to do them every single race. But anyway, that aside, confirmation that the chassis upgrade has indeed arrived. As you can see here, the rear floor is on the car. It didn't fail, so the car is going to be improved heading into Melbourne. We have 926 points, so before we go, we are going to go ahead and look to improve the car a bit more. We might as well try to bring us some more upgrades. So we're going to go for a weight reduction, in this case the improved energy improved energy store cells, which has a slight discount on them, so we'll go ahead and take those. That will push us above McLaren, AlphaTauri and Haas if it arrives. That is a big upgrade for us, reducing the weight, so fingers crossed that makes it. For now though guys, that is going to be it for this episode. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Let's try and smash over 3,000 likes. Subscribe for more as we're on the road to 100,000 subs, like I mentioned in the intro. And yeah, as always, a massive shout out to the channel members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.